Explain to me, what was happening in the street scene?
Well, that was last September when Obama announced that he had intended to launch cruise missiles to attack Syria. And there were many people in the United States who thought that that was wrong. And we decided to gather in Times Square, which is a center in New York City, and have a rally saying, "Hands off Syria." We pointed out that all throughout the United States, hospitals are closing, schools are closing, fire departments are closing, basic essential services are being cut. But yet the government was willing to spend millions of dollars on war, and currently $18 million every single day are given to the state of Israel by the U.S. government. And we raised that issue. And that day was actually the only time I've ever appeared on CNN, the mainstream TV network in the United States. That was the only appearance I ever had. And when I appeared on CNN earlier that day, before the remarks that I gave in that video, I raised what the Syrian terrorist insurgents are doing. And I said that the Syrian terrorist insurgents were slaughtering people and murdering people. And that was one of the only times viewers in the U.S. ever heard that. That is something that was not permitted to be part of the discourse in the United States. People in the United States had no idea that the terrorist insurgents being funded by our tax dollars, being funded by Saudi Arabia and Qatar, were committing these horrible crimes. That was not raised or ever discussed. And the U.S. media portrayed the terrorists in Syria as if they were some kind of freedom fighters. It was very frightening. And there are some of us who follow international news and knew what was actually going on. And we felt we had to have a rally that day in Times Square to raise the truth and to make clear that if Obama had proceeded and launched those cruise missiles, that would have been a crime. That would have been horrendous. And we rallied, and luckily he did not take that action. Now, currently, Obama has moved into Syria under the guise of allegedly fighting ISIL. But that day, we felt as if we were with the people of the world and opposing the crime our government was hoping to commit.
اون طرف دنیا چه ارتباطی به یک جوان 26 ساله داره که از ایالت کشاورزی و یا مثلا مرکزی اوهایو اومده به نیویورک؟ این چه صحنه‌ایه که این جوان خودشون درگیرش کردن؟ I'm concerned about, why would you be concerned about cruise missiles that Obama's going to send into Syria? Why would a young man from Ohio be in New York and get involved with these scenes? What's going on?
Well, I was part of the Occupy Wall Street protests that took place in 2011. And those protests, those were young people who were expecting that they would have a kind of higher standard of living that the U.S. has had for a long time. But right now, the U.S. is rapidly transitioning into a low-wage police state. And there are many young people who are upset about it. And in response to their peaceful demonstration, the leaders of the United States came and bashed people's skulls in, maced people with pepper spray, and were very repressive. And, you know, that same police department, the New York City Police Department, that attacked me and my friends when we went out to peacefully demonstrate, is closely linked with Israel and its crimes against the Palestinian people. The New York City Police Department actually has an office in Tel Aviv. Part of the training, as Cyrus mentioned, is watching this hateful anti-Islamic film. The New York City Police Department is devoted to persecuting Muslims in New York City. And they have attacked mosques, they have committed crimes. And so as someone who saw the response of the government to the peaceful protests of myself and my friends, and the links it had to the crimes being committed against Muslims and the crimes being committed against the people of Palestine, I see these links. You know, we share a common enemy. The youth of the United States who are outraged about unemployment and the rising police repression in the United States. We share a common enemy with the people of Palestine, with the people of Iran. We have a common enemy. It's the same forces that are seeking to destroy, simply to destroy humanity. And these are forces that only care about profits and money and really don't care how many people they kill in the process of doing so. And so, you know, that's why I'm so honored to be here in Iran. Youth in Iran should be very proud of the history of their country, because all over the world there are people admiring the Islamic Republic of Iran and how it stands with oppressed people all over the world. As an Irish American, I was moved, just truly moved, to see that there's a street in this city named after Bobby Sands, as a martyr of Irish resistance. You know, Iran is a great country with a beautiful history.
Thank you, Phil.